We are live. Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to Pink Power Live. I am Ruby Ambassador with Plexus Worldwide, Nikki Westerfield.
Hi, and I am Senior Ruby Ambassador Kara Flippin. We are so excited about tonight. Vincent Orleck is with us, and he has tons of awesome social
Woohoo!
knowledge to share with us. We're excited because I know if you guys are anything like me, social media is where it's at and how you build your business. And I mean, that's honestly probably where 90% of my business comes from is social media. So I'm really excited to learn some more tips that I think will even help me excel more. Um, Real quick, before we jump into that, I just want to remind you, like we do every single week, that convention is in June and we want you there. Every single one of you.
It
So
is?
it is. It is.
Yes, everybody get there. It's so super important to build your business. You want to be there. I know everybody on our team who has rank advanced this year was at convention last year, so that's huge. Um,
Leaders are born at events. People that show up go up. This is why you need to make it a priority. And I know that there's an awesome breakdown going around on convention, how Plexus can pay your way to convention. It tells you exactly what you need to do month by month to earn enough money to make it to convention. So plan ahead. We have plenty of time. Do what you have to do to get there.
Amen. Yes, yes, yes. Everybody, real quick, if you guys want to get a pen and piece of paper or use your phone notes, Vincent's going to give us a lot of really good information. So if you want to take notes, that would be very, very smart. So we're really excited.
Yes. Okay, so to get this started off, Vincent, do you care just to kind of tell us a little bit about yourself and how did you get to be the social media manager for Plexus?
Yeah. Well, first of all, Nikki and Kara, thanks for having me on. I appreciate it. I'm honored to be talking to your teams. Um, and yeah, convention is awesome. Convention, it's gonna be. Everyone knows it's gonna be in Vegas. I mean, just that fact alone. Come on, it's Las
Right?
Vegas. It's at the
Yes.
at the biggest hotel in the United States. Do people know that? Do people know that the MGM Grand is the biggest hotel in the U.S.? It's got 5,000 rooms.
I
I
actually
mean,
know that.
I I didn't know that until we booked it
I did
there.
not know that either.
Yeah, it's the largest hotel in the country,
That
which
is
is
awesome.
so when you
And
think
flights are
about
cheap to Vegas. Flights are super cheap to Vegas.
yeah,
So
well, especially that
no
time of year,
excuses.
it's a little it's kind of there's not really an off season for Vegas, but you're flying to the desert, so it's a little warmer. So generally, people are doing that like now. They're going to Vegas for Super Bowl, for March Madness, that sort of thing. But anyway, it's still gonna be a good time. It's gonna be valuable. There's always awesome stuff that happens at convention, new announcements. I mean, I don't think it's any secret. Usually at convention, there's a new product announcement. I'm not confirming or denying that. I'm just saying,
You on
I've been
that?
to I've been to two conventions myself, and both of them had a new product announcement or two. So yeah, I don't know.
And the
And well,
training is
the
amazing.
trainings, yeah, we've really since Marianne came on last year, really kind of changed that up with the breakout sessions last year. I think divvying it up among the different ranks, kind of the ranges of the ranks was. I mean, you guys can probably speak more to it.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
it was worked out well. I think people liked
Right.
it.
I think it is
Um,
It
helpful.
was really nice to like learn on your level of what ambassador level you're at. It was really
yeah,
helpful.
and that was the idea. So yeah, it did seem to work out really well. And there'll be more of that type of stuff this year for sure. Um, so I and I'm not going to talk a lot about me, but you asked, so I'll just say that I've been with Plexus since February of 2013. Sorry, 2014. 2014. Sorry, I keep saying that lately. I keep thinking this is my third year, and it's not. It just feels like it. It's since February of 2014 when I started. Before that, I've lived in Arizona for about 10 years. Um, I've worked in kind of the media industry the whole time. Worked at the newspaper and the main website out here that carries the news, the Arizona Republic and AZCentral.com. I did advertising sales, real glamorous stuff, working with real estate agents. Um, but that was really where I discovered social media as a tool for business and as a career for myself. Um, what I used to do is I had a territory of sales territory, and I would go and talk to the businesses there and try to sell them ad space in the newspaper, essentially at the time. This is before the newspaper kind of went down, especially for real estate. Um, and But I also dealt with small businesses, and in my efforts to try and sell them advertising in the newspaper, it was hard then. It was during the recession, and I tried some new things, and one of the things I tried was kind of using the appeal of social media in a way, but more specifically even Yelp, which is it's kind of sort of social media at this point. Um, what I would do is there was a lot of restaurants, and I would go into the restaurant with a printout of the Yelp page that they didn't even know they had most of the time. They didn't, because Yelp, it just creates on its own or someone else can create it, and then there's reviews and all that. And this was at least back then. And so I would go in and I would show them, hey, here's all these negative reviews. Here's all the positive reviews, but here's all these negative reviews too. Did you even know that these existed? And most of the time they didn't. So I would kind of appeal to that, like, and I was trying to help them. I'm trying to help them understand what's going on with their customers and their audience and what's happening online. And then that developed into more the social media side. I worked for Facebook here in Phoenix. There was a pilot program that they created here right before the company went public, where we offered a program. We would work with small businesses primarily, but not limited to them. Work with them on building their presence on Facebook, like a page, but also, and more importantly, their paid advertising. So how to run like a paid ad campaign on Facebook. And that program was free as long as they were running a certain amount of advertising. And it was, at the time, the minimum was like $50 a day for a month. So it was like $1,500 for the month that they would have to be paying in order to qualify for this program. But long story short, it allowed me to really see, wow, Facebook's really powerful for businesses. And this was 4 years ago. So it was before really the whole how it is now came to be, and it was just starting with businesses using it and people using Facebook for their own kind of business purposes along with social friendship purposes. So I ended up at Plexus a couple of years ago, and since then just been trying to work with ambassadors. My main role with the company is twofold. It's working with you guys on education on how best to use the platforms, so you don't get suspended. Your accounts will get suspended, and so you use them, the best way for your business too. And then the other half of my role is to manage all the accounts for the company on Facebook, on Twitter, Instagram, Pinterest, LinkedIn, Google+, YouTube, and the blog. So we started the blog about over a year ago, and now it's really picked up. We'll talk about that in a little while, I think. But that's my story.
That's awesome. You must be really busy. That's a lot of stuff to keep up with.
It can be, yeah. Luckily that's my whole full-time job. You guys, you're trying to do some social media or Facebook even along with the other stuff that you're doing, and so I get to focus all on just those things. So hopefully it's made a difference for the company and for you guys to a point too. But really trying to do more of this type of thing, the trainings, education, even workshops, webinars, that sort of a thing coming up.
I know as a whole, people in general, we are amazing at scrolling through Facebook and just wasting our time and on media, but just being able to figure out how to really be proactive and take advantage of it. And you've had a kind of a behind the scenes look on Facebook, is what it sounds like, since you did, work for them. So maybe, just offer a little more insight in that area too.
Yeah, we'll talk about it. Yeah.
That's so cool. Okay, I have a question. What is the best way to build your network on social media?
Boom, just right out the gate.
Yeah.
What is the best way to build your network on social media as a whole, right? So not just Facebook, but all over social media. So I'll
Like,
throw out there. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
just I know that there are tons of sites out there, but like even if you just like narrowed it down to like maybe what would be most, proactive to us.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, so
the
there's
best
a
way.
way. You know what? Yeah, there is. There's a way to do that. There's a way that you want to approach how you handle your online self, your online presence. I mean, a lot of it is stuff that you guys have already said and heard a lot, and I'm going to reiterate some of that, where you want to be yourself. Um, Being yourself doesn't always mean that you're going to push product and push the business opportunity. I know a lot of the leaders like you guys in the company try to exemplify that and tell people that. And I mean, not everybody listens. They're not everybody's not going to listen, um, and they'll find out for themselves. It's just you have to you can't just be a salesperson. Um, and Facebook doesn't really like when people do that. Number one, um, it's not good for even like a compliance standpoint. Um, there's just a lot of more negatives than positives, more cons than pros that are associated with doing it that way. It's hard. Not saying it's an easy thing, because I know a lot of people, they start and they're super excited and they just want to tell the world, like, this is what these products did for me, or this is financially or health wise, um, and I know it can do it for you. And like, people, for the most part, it's because people are so excited about it that they
Mhm.
wanna they just want to share it with their friends. They want to tell people about it, scream it to the mountaintop, and make everybody successful and healthy too. And it's just it's really hard to hold back. I totally get it. I totally understand that. But you have to, because number one, if you just launch into all that right off the bat, you're gonna burn out a lot of people, your friends, and you're not gonna know it even, because they'll just stop engaging with you and what you're posting on Facebook or social media in general. And Facebook, that makes a difference. Facebook, it matters how people engage with you on there. It matters if they like or comment or share with your posts. It matters if they stay on a post and read what you wrote. Facebook sees all that. So if they're not engaging with you, then they're going to see less and less of what you post. So that being said, you not only have to be yourself, but if you're if well, I'll put it this way, you have to provide a reason for someone to pay attention to you. Other than Plexus, because how many ambassadors do we have? Do you guys have any idea about how many we have total?
I
Over
thought it
300,000, right?
Yeah, it's close to that. So, I mean, not all of them are posting about Plexus on Facebook all over the place, but a good chunk are. So, say even a third or a quarter of that. That's almost 100,000 people potentially posting all over Facebook about $12 off on Christmas membership,
was.
and it's everywhere. It's And a lot of people maybe even are in like the same multiple networks that they're getting boom, boom, like after the other, boom, like post after post, and then they just get annoyed. They get annoyed with it. They don't want to see it, um, and they'll either just ignore it, or they'll even go the extreme of not unfriending you, but they'll turn off the notification. They'll unfollow you
Unfollow
essentially.
you.
I
Yeah,
actually
and go ahead.
I shared that with my team the other day. Is Melissa Eckenhorst kind of had a thing of how she built
Yep.
her business on Facebook, and she was very strategic about it. And when I first signed up as an ambassador 3 years ago, like they just told me to post on Facebook, and they just told me to throw it on. Like that's all I knew to do was doing what you said. And I like told my team, I was like, when I first signed up, I was like, I lost a lot of friends because I just threw plexus in their face all day long. I didn't know
Yeah.
better, and now I try to be more strategic, and I'm trying to train my team to definitely share plexus and how awesome it is, but be personal.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's about being personal. But it's also about sharing. Like, think about if you were not an ambassador, how would you use Facebook if you were not with Plexus? What other stuff would
Time
you post
stuff.
on there? And I'm sure you post other things besides Plexus, but I'm
Oh,
also sure that the majority of what people post that are ambassadors is Plexus related,
Mhm.
for the most part. So you really have to. Some people may have to really sit down and think about it, and like you said, have a strategy of how they want to post. Because here's the other part that's even probably more important is, I mean, aside from compliance stuff with us,
Yeah.
there's a Facebook factor, because Facebook has changed over, even in the last 3 years, in the last year, um, and even before that, Facebook has never liked network marketing on personal profiles. Just so you know that they specifically, in their terms of service, they do not allow, and they put it in sentence together. They put pyramid scheme in there. They say MLM. They put it all together. They classify pharmaceuticals. They put all these things in the same kind of banned category, if you will. So, and I'm not saying that to scare people. All I'm saying is this is how it's been forever,
Mhm.
and it's just the sheer size of Facebook. It doesn't maybe catch every single thing, but it does see things, and that's why there was a time, like, about a year ago, a bunch of accounts were suspended because of like a spam like activity, that everybody posted the same thing at the same time, in like almost at exactly the same time, on a Friday night, and Jules on down got their account suspended for like 2 weeks. And it wasn't because of anything else other than that. I know it was specifically, they posted this one graphic that we emailed out for the
Mhm.
convention contest, and it doesn't even matter what the picture was, because so many people posted it at the same time. It wasn't that they were sharing it from somewhere else; they were just posting the graphic on their own, wherever, in a private message, in a group page, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Um, that got a lot of accounts suspended. So the system, the Facebook algorithm, the back end reads that. It reads when stuff like that's happening, and the ultimate goal of Facebook is to keep people coming back and staying on Facebook. So any activities that are kind of against that, that are something a bot would do, or spam, it tries to pick up on that. So that's
Oh,
why you have to be careful with it. It doesn't just let you throw the same thing out there all the time. They'll get you. They'll get you. And so that being said, yes, 3 years ago, and include Celeste in there too, and Jen, and all everyone, Melissa, everyone that used Facebook. It's a different climate now too. So they've even come out and said they're cracking down more on overly promotional posts. They've specifically used those terms. Um, and it's just a how it's evolved. So you just have to be careful. Just be yourself. Be interesting. It's not all about the weight loss, or the health benefits, or the sale that we're having. It's about you. So I mean, you are ultimately the brand. You guys are Plexus. You guys are wherever it is, in person, email, Facebook, whatever social media channel. You guys are Plexus. You represent the company. You are the company. So you always have to remember that. Like, would do you see other people? Do you see your friends going on Facebook, let's say, and talking about, oh my God, my job just did, like, every day, talking about something with their job that the company did, or I mean, maybe once in a while, right? If something like really special happened, they might talk about it, but it's not like this whole promotional, like, oh, my company's so great and blah blah blah. So and again, it's hard. It's hard. It's hard not to do stuff like that. I understand, but you just have to be careful with it.
so if like Plexus made a big announcement again, instead of like, would it be more beneficial, I guess, if we wanted to share that, like share it from Plexus Worldwide or something, instead of copying and pasting the graphic and stuff like that? And does it get as many
Yeah.
views if you share it? Like I feel like a lot of times when I share other links, like it doesn't get seen as
Yep.
much.
Yeah, I've noticed that too. I noticed that too. And when, because what I'll do is well, this is a little different, but I'll share something from the company page. I'll go in and just to try to boost it more to make sure everybody does see it if it's something that needs to be seen like right away. Because usually what we'll do is we'll email it out, and at the same time I'll post it on the social channels. And when I post it on the Facebook page, I'll then go in and share that post to the various groups that I'm in, the Plexus group. So like the convention group has 11,000 people in it or something right now.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to think. So Going for Gold, that group has like 5 or 6,000 people in it. So it's just these big groups that I know that it'll get seen at least, and that's all I'm trying to do with our stuff. You guys, it's a little different. It depends on what are you trying to accomplish. Are you trying to get your team to see something? Or are you trying to get the exposure to your network that's not interested in Plexus because you want to show them what a great company or product or whatever you have? It really depends on that. But I agree with the whole, like, when you're sharing it, it doesn't necessarily get as many views, or the reach is lower. I see that sometimes too.
I was told one time that like when posting about like yourself and not just all about Plexus all the time, that for every Plexus post you do a personal post. Is that kind of a good way to keep it balanced in your opinion?
So I always put myself in your shoes, in the shoes of the ambassadors, and if it was me, so if I was just an ambassador and not with the company, not with corporate, I would approach it on a super high percentage of myself, my personal stuff, versus the Plexus stuff. So, because if you're doing one and one, I mean, that's 50-50.
Right.
That's a lot. To me, that
Mm-hmm.
would be a lot. Just because I know how, like, my network friends, whatever, would react to. Um, it's a lot. So you kind of have to gauge. I mean, at this point, it really depends on where you are, probably in the company too, as far as your rank. I mean, if you've been with the company if you've been doing it for a while, you're already past that point of maybe alienating some people.
Yeah, that'd be really cool.
Yeah, I mean, maybe even to the point of you've alienated them, but then they came back just because, and what I mean. It really, you have to analyze your audience, like your network, and see, okay, what is this? Who does this make sense to post this to? And then you can use the lists. You can separate out your audiences, and when you make the post, you can just send it to, people that are not Plexus related, or people from your hometown, or from the high school you went to that you're connected with. I mean, there's all those different ways that you can send something to a different group of people whenever you want to.
Mm-hmm.
So I would not be a fan of the one. Just for the I
Yeah.
know I hear people say a lot. There's a lot of different kind of strategies, and I mean, if that works for you, awesome, do it. But if you don't see it really working, then maybe try something else. Try
Right,
switch it up.
right.
I wish I would have like I'm glad I hope a lot of our new ambassadors are tuning in because this is information I wish I would have understood whenever I was new and not but you're just thrown into it sometimes and you
Yeah, and it
think,
changes.
oh
It
I
changes a lot. Facebook. I mean, this past year, oh my God, Facebook put in so many new things and changed so many things over even the last 6 months of 2015. Um, with a friend of mine. I do a little talk show on Friday afternoons, and we talk about social media. And it's like he finds the little news items, and it seemed like every week it was, oh, Facebook started doing this. Oh, Facebook changed this. Facebook put this in. It's crazy and it hasn't stopped even the start of this year. They're still doing new things. The Facebook Live thing. I'm sure you guys are.
hey that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
I like that. Um, so are there any other social media outlets that we should be like investing our time into other than Facebook? That
Well, let
would
me let me ask you guys. I've been talking for a while here. So you guys, what do you besides Facebook, do you use anything else? And if so, what do you use?
The only thing that I really use is Instagram, and I don't really post much Plexus stuff on there. Every once in a while I'll throw in a Plexus post, but that's
Hmm.
definitely more of a personal page for me. I don't really, like I said, market my business a lot. I think I've got my website and the bio and stuff on there, but
Hmm.
and then I tried Twitter, but that's
Yeah, Twitter's hard. Twitter's a learning curve, and it
yeah.
takes
Yes,
some
it is.
commitment. It's a commitment to learn.
I do the same. I do Instagram. I used to do Instagram a lot and I actually slowed down, but I do like Instagram because I like that it connects with your Facebook and Twitter and you can just click Facebook, Twitter and it shares it all in one post. I do like that, but I can't log on to Twitter and figure it out. But I do that. But I'm like, where does that post go? I have no idea.
It goes
I
to your
use
Twitter
Facebook
feed.
for the
Yeah.
most point.
It does go to your whatever Twitter feed you have connected to it. So if it's out there and it's posting, I mean there's probably not much happening with it, just in all honesty.
Right.
Um, but that's okay. That's okay. Um, Instagram is the one that I usually kind of end up talking about because number one it does connect easily with Facebook and people like that. It's visual. It's in the palm of your hand. It's on your phone. It's really easy. Um, as far as someone just picking it up, like if if someone's on Facebook and they just want to kind of expand and try a different channel, that one is probably the easiest to just start using because it's literally just a picture or video and then you can type a caption and I mean if you know hashtags or you don't, it's not that hard to once you hear how it works, it's not a huge deal to learn and start doing. That's usually the one, and I've talked to um, several. I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot of jewels that have used Instagram in a big way with their business to get even within the last year or so, ones that are now jewels that were not jewels a year ago that was a big part of their business. Um,
Nice.
do you guys know Emily Roberts?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, she used Instagram not more than Facebook, but really heavily. She said, and it like brought her customers and everything.
Really?
So yeah. So it can work, um, and it's just see. So it's funny. Um, Kara, when you say that you use Instagram not for your business though, that's funny because do you have it public or private?
I haven't public, and I just meant like I post more like I don't post a lot of testimonies or things on there is what I
No,
meant.
that's what I mean, and I love that.
Yeah, I no, I mean that's I guess what I meant by that. I I was talking to my husband about it the other day, and I was just I don't know if this I was going to ask you this later, but I have been trying to go to other people's posts on my Facebook that aren't involved in Plexus and engage with them more in hopes that they'll see my stuff more. And I
Yep.
noticed a lot of the people that I was going to like did not ever post on Facebook. Like their last post was in November or something like that. So I very well could just like start trying to engage with them then.
Hmm.
But so then I started going to Instagram and I saw that they were more active on Instagram. So I told them I was like, I really need to try to use Instagram more, but I don't know like as far as the engage like I guess I have a harder time engaging on Instagram too. Like
It's just because you're not used to it, because it's really pretty.
Right.
It's pretty straightforward. I mean, if you and
I'm not
I'll
either.
you're not.
Mm-mm. Well, I mean, I know how to do it, but I know it has new stuff now. Like I know you can actually like message in Instagram, I think.
You can, but I mean,
So,
I don't know that that's a difference maker. I mean, I don't really have any messages or anything going with anyone on Instagram, and I'm friends with all my like this whole group of friends that are in social media, and we don't use that at all. So I don't know. I really don't know how many people use that. I think people still use Facebook PMs and primarily those private messages on Facebook or text, um, or now Snapchat. Snapchat is big
I was
and
gonna
it's getting
ask
bigger.
about that actually. I just got Snapchat last night and I'm really loving it.
Yeah, it's fun. It's super personal. You really control it. You control who you connect with and who connects with you. It's funny because it comes along like a lot of people that are picking up now is it's people that you've been on Facebook for a long time or you've been on some sort of social media for a while. So now you're on Snapchat, you're like, okay, I know how I'm going to use this. This person's not going to connect with me here. I'm not going to let them connect with me here. And I'm going to connect with these people, though, for sure, because they're fun. But it just allows, there's a lot more allowance for that fun, much more personal and inside view of someone's family or what they're doing or there's just so much more opportunity there for that type of thing, and it's quick. It's quick.
That's what I like
so,
about it so far.
Yeah, it's really easy. Well, I won't say that. It's easy once you start using it for a little while. There's like a little bit of a learning curve with that one too, just because trying to get around through the screens.
I have a 16-year-old sister, so she's been actually showing me what to do. But
oh, geez, perfect.
Before that, I had no clue. She's like, swipe left, swipe right, and I'm like, oh, there's a bunch of options if you do that.
Yeah.
But it's really cool. My brother went to the Air Force yesterday, and so he's been on there. He's on his way to Texas right now for boot camp. So he's been Snapchatting, like, his plane ride and what he ate, and it's just cool to, like, click on it and see, like, personal stuff like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
I love it.
And so let's go back to Instagram real quick because I'll throw this out there as like a little challenge that we'll see what happens. Okay. So
love it.
You guys take the rest of the week and go on. Like if you don't have an Instagram account, set one up. If you're on there already, great. Go on Instagram and just start fiddling around with it. If you don't know what you're doing, it's okay. Just look around. You don't have to post anything even, but look around. Look at the hashtag trending things. Search for things that interest you. So don't search for Plexus because you're just gonna pull up other Plexus stuff, and there's no reason to go on and like really go, oh, I'm gonna like all these other Plexus posts. Like that doesn't really help you very much. I mean, unless you want to connect with a lot of other ambassadors, that's cool. I mean, that's totally fine. But go on and if you like photography, go search for those types of terms. Search for photos, hashtag photos, or even just the word. On Instagram, you don't have to search for a hashtag. It'll still pull up relevant information. And will you see some maybe kind of questionable pictures a little bit? you will. But you don't have to click on them. You're gonna see them. They're gonna probably pop up depending on the hash. Even the most innocuous hashtag, something like hashtag photography, is gonna bring up some not dirty, filthy things, but like, there's a lot of fitness focused Instagram people, and a lot of them are guys and girls that just they'll go pose and like next to nothing because it's a glamour shot and they want to get it out there. So ignore that or don't ignore it, whatever you want to do. Hey, the whole fitness thing, that's good area for connecting with too, because we have products for those people. But just go on and look at your interests. Search for your interests. So the things that you're into, hobbies, whatever. And go to those posts. Click on those posts. Scroll through. Look at the photos. If there's photos that you like, you just double tap it, and that means you like the photo. The person that posted it sees that you liked it. They may or may not say something back to you or follow you. But that's what you need to do. You need to interact with people. And that's just how you interact. You can comment, put a comment, say, I love this picture. This reminds me of, when I was growing up back home, and this was like this back home. Whatever it is. If you're connecting with people on there, that's what it's for. You're forging these quick relationships that may or may not lead to something else immediately or down the road or never. But you have to put it out there. You have to put the engagement out there, and not fake. If you're doing it on things that you like, then it won't be fake anyway. You'll just naturally pick up on and relate to things that make sense to you and that you connect with yourself anyway. So take the rest of this week, everybody do that, and just have fun with it. Don't post Plexus stuff, which is hard, I know. But yeah, just use it like you normally would, like someone normally would that's not trying to do a business.
Right. So it'll kind
You
of be
know.
like a kind of like a statistics, like the more people that you do connect with, obviously the more opportunities you're going to have for someone to possibly order or join your team type thing.
Yeah, and put your website in your bio. Put your website in your bio. That's okay. If
Yeah,
someone wants to go there and wants to find out more about you, you telling them to do that a million times if they don't want to do it is not going to make them do it. It's if they want to take that second to click onto your bio and see more about you. And then
mhm.
if they click on your website, it's just you have to let it naturally happen
Right.
in some instances.
That's how I am with a lot of my customers too. Like I talk to them forever before I will even give them my website because I just, want to give them all of my personal experiences and that, and then, give them my website later. But
Yeah,
Yeah, I do the same thing.
yeah.
your website should be like a piece of gold. It's like the reward
Yeah.
that they get for you're serious about being interested,
Right.
and
Yes.
that's okay. Well, here you go. Okay,
Yeah.
that's when they get it.
I actually have, it doesn't happen very often, but I do have sometimes people are like, can I have your website? I want to order. And I'm like, whoa, hang on a minute. Like, let me ask you some questions. Because it flows so much better that way.
Yeah.
Um,
Definitely.
okay. If you start engaging with all of your posts showing up like on Facebook, like how do you get people to see your post more by interacting with them?
Like no
Um,
our stuff, but we keep like commenting on their stuff. Will our stuff start popping up in their feed, even if they're like not?
they have to engage with you. You can comment and everything all you want, but if they're not doing anything back on your stuff, then that will make a difference. Um, so there's two things. One thing is that like you can go and if you go and if you go and like or comment on someone's post, you're increasing the likelihood that they're going to go onto yours or do the same when yours pops up in their feed.
Uh-huh.
But you don't really have control over it. There's really not anything you can do specifically except for one thing. But even that, it depends on if they then act on what you tell them to do. So there's this feature on Facebook pages that and profiles. You've probably seen it or heard about it. It's in the cover photo. There's a button that's shoot. Hold on. Let me look at what exactly the button says. Because you click on this button and hold on. Let me go to.
Is it the camera with it says edit?
No, it's a different
Oh.
one. It is like. Okay, so it's the like button. It's the little thumbs up, follow, like button, right?
Mhm.
Um, if you tell someone to go there, there's an option when they go to that button. There's an option that comes up as part of that says see first. And see first gives someone the option that if they click that, like say on your profile, if I go to your profile and I click on see first on the button, that means that every time I log it back, I come back to Facebook, I'm gonna see your posts. They're the top of my feed no matter what.
Mhm.
You said this is on, I'm sorry to interrupt you. You said that this is
Yeah.
on your cover photo. I'm just trying to like look while you're
Yeah.
talking and I don't see it.
So if you go to on like a timeline, like if you go to the Plexus Slim page, for instance,
Uh-huh.
and on the photo, it's just the way that they're positioned. It may be on the phone, it's different.
Yeah, it might.
Um, yeah, on the phone, it
Okay.
is. That's why. Sorry, and I forget. Most everyone's pretty much on their phone too. So, um, if you go to someone's timeline on the phone, and then there is. Hold on, I'm trying to pull one up. Um, let's see.
Maybe is it one of those things you need to do on the laptop? Maybe.
No, I think you can do it on the phone. No, you can do it on the phone. So on the
Okay.
phone, um, if you're on someone's timeline, there's under the profile photo, there's the follow, like you can follow someone or unfollow, or it says following.
Hmm.
If you see that, hopefully, do you see it?
Oh, I found it.
And if you click that, then there's an option for see first. It's in gray. It's one of the three options.
I don't
But
know
if
if
you
you guys
click
can
that,
see it. Yeah, probably not.
Oh yeah, I see it.
you can see the outline. It's tough on the camera. Um, but we can maybe there's screenshot. I have screenshots and things. We could always
Yeah, that's really
send
cool.
it. On there, if someone hits that, so if I hit that on yours, then that means that, like I said, whenever I open my Facebook and my newsfeed, your posts will come up at the top. Your most recent, like usually it's your most recent couple of posts that'll
Hmm.
come up at the top. So now it goes back to, though, like, will someone actually do that? If you tell them to do that, if you give them like a little quick screenshot of click here and then click here to see my post first if you want to, just kind of throw it out there. Someone may or may not do it, but it doesn't hurt to try to get someone to do it, even if it's just for them to try it out.
So, um, okay, so like back to like the engaging thing and with
Hmm.
um like if I post something and if it gets more likes or more comments, is there a chance of people that don't necessarily see my stuff that often that they will see it? Like if there's more likes and comments on it, or there's so many comments that I need to like get it circulating, or
Yeah,
I
it
post
really isn't.
of like my girls and I'll get like 200 likes on it, and
Yes,
like it's just
yes, that's how
Mhm.
it always works. Yeah, because that's the type of stuff that people will engage with. It's just a fact. I mean, my 2 year old, I post a picture of her, and it's like gangbusters. What that does help, so it does help the next time you post to a point. So that's kind of a little tricky workaround. It doesn't necessarily work all the time, but if you put up a post and they get all these likes and things on there, well, you're just you're naturally increasing the chance of all those people now, because they engaged with that post, of them
Mhm.
seeing another post from you next time because they engage with it. And it's better if they comment on it or share it. Like, those hold more weight than just a like also.
Okay. Okay.
So that's why you'd see, well, I don't see it so much anymore, but a while back, people, like pages and kind of scammy type people, would post, and say, comment if you think yes, and share if you think no, and that's like building this natural engagement in an unnatural way.
Mhm.
It's like a little trick, but Facebook again adjusted, and really they have some way that they work around that, and it doesn't work anymore.
So I heard that I don't even know where I heard this, but I heard if you got three comments on something, then it started circulating more. Is that true or is that not true? Like, because I like to tell my friends all the time, go comment on my post so other people see it.
Yeah. Um, Not really, because I've heard that before. I've never heard that, like, specific number or that specific approach to it being
Okay.
a factor. But I know that one's out there. It's like a common, especially with ambassadors. I think that's spread through the ranks as like, oh yeah, if you do that, and it makes sense. That's why a lot of ambassadors will go and like comment on other ambassadors' posts and things, and but then it just ends up kind of going within themselves.
Right. Okay.
So I wouldn't totally rely on that. Anytime you have comments and shares and engagement, it's gonna help somewhere along the line, but it just may not be with the people that you think you are getting.
Okay.
Nice. How do you strategize a Plexus post? And is there a best time to post? What are the best times?
The the best times is a funny subject. So if you if you Google even just Facebook, right? If you Google best time to post on Facebook 2012, there'll be this slew of articles and infographics saying, oh, Wednesdays at 5 o'clock is the best time to put up a Facebook post because such and such statistics, blah blah. If you Google best time to post on Facebook 2013, the time is changed to Tuesdays at 2 p.m. If you Google it now, it's Saturdays at 6 o'clock. Like it's all this. No one knows. No one knows. There's two ways you can figure it out. If you have a business page, not a profile. I mean, you have a profile anyway. But if you also have a Facebook business page, on the business page there's the Insights tab. Do you guys have pages at all?
I do.
So there's the Insights tab.
Just a Facebook page, like that's not private.
That's not a profile, a business page specifically. So okay.
Yeah, I have one.
So there, you see Insights. There's a tab that says Insights or Analytics. If you're on your phone, it might be there's a.
Oh, Insights. Yep.
Yeah, that'll give you the statistics on the page. So that'll tell you a lot of different things. Yeah, there's stuff on there like when your followers are generally online the most, what days of the week, times. But I mean it's on there, but I feel like a lot of the times that I look, it's always the same. Like it's always high during the middle of the week and around 6 o'clock. But I feel like it's that way for everybody, because that is when most people are probably checking Facebook. It's like dinner time or after work they're checking Facebook. But in reality, do you guys ever not check it? Like when do you not check it?
In the evening sometimes, like I'm off Facebook a lot in the evenings, but I do know that is when most people get on, but my schedule's a little crazy. See, I'm a stay-at-home mom, so is it Kara.
Mm-hmm.
We work our plugness business all day, and then like I try to spend time with my family in the evening.
Right.
So I cook dinner and stuff, so I'm actually off around that time. But I do think a lot of people are on at that time for sure. I think a lot. It seems like a lot of people are on around like I think Lori actually Cooper said. Kara's mom told me 11 o'clock a long time ago was a good time to post, just because everybody's like on late sometimes. So I don't
yes
really
and
know
no.
how that is now.
I honestly think that there isn't a bad time. It depends more on what it is you're posting. Because if you have that picture of, your kids, if you post it on Sunday at 6 a.m. or Thursday at 3 p.m., it's gonna get seen. Now, if you're posting like in the middle of the night, it's probably not going to get seen as much. But even that, if you think about it, when you wake up in the morning and you go to Facebook and you check it, how many times do you see a post from 2 hours before that? You wake up at 6 a.m. or 7 a.m., whatever, and you see a post from an hour ago or 2 hours ago.
My entire family got a stomach bug a couple months ago, and I posted about it on Facebook at like 3:30 in the morning, and it had like 20 comments on it by the time that by like 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning. So
yeah, yeah, and how many do you see from that say yesterday at 1:30?
Right. It just goes on who's recently commented on that, right? Because like if somebody comments on it, it pops back up.
Yeah, it really all ties into the whole engagement factor. Like, do I usually engage with your posts a lot? If I do, then I'm going to see, when I get onto Facebook first thing in the morning, I'm going to see your posts most likely. If it's later in the day, depending on what I did that day, what I engaged with, I may not see yours right away. I may see others. So I know like that's not the answer everybody's looking. Everyone's looking for like specific times and things, but it's just it's good in a way. It's actually good because you don't have to worry about that. Just
right.
I'll tell you this.
What we tell everybody: work your business around your schedule.
Just do it. Just don't worry about that stuff. That's like a minuscule thing really to worry about. It's not gonna make or break your post or your business. I'll tell you. I'll say this: when we have like a big or an announcement, something that we want, I want to make sure that as many people as possible see it that we post on the business page. I always want to post it not on a Friday, usually like Tuesday, Wednesday, early in the morning, because well, number one, we're on Mountain Time, so if I posted at 5 or 6 a.m. our time, that's still only like 7 or 8 a.m. East Coast time. But it just feels like the business pages with our company page, they do better when we post it early in the morning. Profiles are different. Profiles are different. So if it's a business page, it is a somewhat of a different approach. Even on my own personal business page, like I'd rather post something early in the morning, and then it's building. You know, people see it potentially when they first get on there, and then they have the whole day to still see it and engage with it. So in that sense, it probably makes more sense to post something early in the morning. But like I said, the personal profile posting is different.
I know we've been on here for a little bit, but there is like one last question for you. But I know that a lot of network marketers, like that's how they grow their businesses, through social media. So like, why did it get so popular? Just because of all of how easy it was to reach people through this?
Yeah, because it's absolutely. I mean, it naturally makes sense. You're connected to all these people to begin with. It's not like you had to build this whole platform, then bring all your connections to it. Most people were already on Facebook and had all their friends in place, connections, and could just say, oh, well, now I'm doing this, and here's why. Here's why it's awesome. So you're putting it out there anyway, and then it's also about the relationships. That's what they're both about. You know, something like Facebook just allows you to scale those relationships.
I know that on Nikki and I do a new ambassador training every other week or whatever. One of the things that we always tell people about, because you have those people that say, I don't want to post on Facebook and stuff like that. We're like, would you rather door to door, or would you rather have to personally call everybody? Like,
yeah. If you're doing it that way, I would also say too, though, that if they're hesitant, and I don't think you guys are forcing them to post, but I mean, it's okay if they don't want to just go crazy with it right off the bat, or I mean, maybe the approach of kind of strategically approaching one person that they think, or a couple people that they think are going to respond really well to help them build their confidence. The other thing that you guys don't have to tell me if you do this or not, but the whole thing with creating a group and then adding all your friends to it, where the group is focused on Plexus, is bad. It's bad. I know people have done that in the past. I know it's succeeded for some people, but the people that get added to the group hate it, and a lot of times again, you won't know it, but they'll report you. They'll report you.
Like a customer page where you like put out there and like you're telling people if they want more information on this, they can join that group.
Yeah, you should. That's fine. That's fine if you want to put a group together and offer it and say, here's where this information is. That's fine in that sense, where you're not just slamming them in there. That nobody. It doesn't even almost matter what the topic is. Like I get thrown into groups all the time. A lot of them are Plexus related. Some of them aren't, and some of them they're even social media related. But I don't know who the person is. Or I may know them, but I don't really know them well, and I don't know why they didn't ask my permission to just put me in this group I'm in now. So it's just more like a common sense type thing. Like, would you like that if someone did that to you? You probably wouldn't. Like if someone threw you in a Jamboree nails group,
that drives me.
Herbalife or so, some other
That's
competitor.
exactly my same thoughts right now. I've never made a group like that where I just throw people in, but I have like a customers group where I add my customers to, or like something like that. But basically, like I think what you're saying is like those like party groups where people sometimes even have parties too, or they're groups that like people post in like once a day and you're just in them.
Yeah, or honestly, any group where you shouldn't just take your friends and abuse that relationship, really, which is what it is,
Hmm.
and throw them in a group that now they might not even find it for like a month, and then
Right.
they're like, wait, what is this? I'm in this group. What is this even about? Get me out of here. Why this person do this? And they report it, So it's just there's not really much good that can come out of it. The customer groups, I'm sure you guys are aware, just be careful because if someone ends up, I don't know. I mean, if someone turns negative, or so, you just have to monitor the group
Oh
for,
yeah.
I'm sure
I have
you're.
mine. I have mine set that I have to approve every post.
That's
Yeah.
good. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's good.
Yes.
And every member that comes in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. You
Well,
guys are doing it right, I think.
it's kind of late and we're about an hour now, but thank you so much for being
Was
on the
that it?
podcast.
Yeah.
That was easy.
You did great.
I
Awesome.
I have learned a lot actually. I
Yeah,
know
me too.
a lot of things that I didn't know, or a lot of things that I thought were true that I have learned that don't focus on that so much. So
Right.
And it changes. It does change. A year from now, there could be some brand new way to go about it, and what we do now is not going to be the way to do it.
well, I hope you're
Right.
planning on offering another training in a year or so.
I
Anytime,
was just gonna
anytime.
say that same thing. That's so funny. We will be calling you next year.
Anytime, anytime. That's what I'm here for.
Yeah. Thank you so much. We really
Yes.
enjoyed having you on the call.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Yes, thank you so much, Vincent. I think a lot of people are going to learn a lot from this call, so thank you.
Awesome.
Have a good night.
Have a good night.
Bye, guys.